Hey, it's me, Jacob, and in this video I want to talk about some of my issues with flying cars. Now, flying cars are a very futuristic idea, right? Like, we've all seen like the movies that take place in like 2050, and they have like the hoverboards, the self-tying shoes, the flying cars, right? Flying cars are actually being made in real life, or at least attempting to be made. We'll talk about that. But here, I am here to ask the question, are they even a good idea to begin with? Right? Because I have a couple issues that I will present in this video right now, starting with laws. Now, what I mean by this is if the cars on the road already, there's like a whole bunch of laws like speed limits, stop signs, no cutting people off. That's probably not a law, but don't do it. Flying cars would bring a whole new ball game to road laws, because the road would be in the air, and you can't exactly put road signs floating in the air unless you get a whole new piece of technology, which, like, just don't even think about that. But yeah, flying vehicles already open the door for like air traffic. So, like, how do flying vehicles navigate past each other? Like, what's the limit, right? Because, like, let's say you have two flying cars right next to each other. Uh, does one of them go under and the other go over? Do they turn to the sides? Or do they just both turn back and just give up and go the other way? Right? Like, kind of like boats. How you need to, like, it's implied that one of the boaters has to, like, turn a certain direction. The other issue I have with flying cars is the air accidents that would happen. Now, regular cars driving on the road, there's already a ton of accidents, both driver and driver, a single driver running into like lampposts or something, and also with animals like roadkill. Now, putting these objects into the air and having a head-on collision, for example, would not only harm the two people that crashed, it would harm the people on the floor that have the flying cars above them. So you're just walking down the street one day, and some guy just decides to get into a crash in the air, and then the car lands directly on you, and there's a third casualty. And that's the same for animals as well, because airplanes already have issues navigating the air with birds that exist, or ducks, whatever. Those are birds, but. So imagine a ton of planes, mini planes, just constantly running into birds and their dead bodies just lining the streets. It would literally be like back in the 1800s when human waste would be on the side of the road. It would smell just as bad. I mean. And the third issue I want to talk about is the practicality of it all. Now, in order for flying cars to actually work, you would need a small vehicle that can carry 2 to 4 people, but can also lift directly straight up into the air, VTOL, and also land directly down. And the issue with doing that is, where do you land these cars? Do they have special parking spots, like helicopters? And then you also get into the issue of, if I have a flying car, but my neighbor doesn't have a flying car, they're going to be super annoyed by the noises that they hear in the morning when I drive to work every day. And there's also the issue of fuel. How do you fuel these machines that are constantly, like, using so much power to lift this thing off the ground, and are probably going to be used more than once a day, because it is a car? And then there's also the cost of it. This would probably, in its early stages at least, will only be something that the rich can buy, and common people can't. So I guess that would solve the issue of air traffic, because it's only rich people up there. But yeah, at that point, you're better off just buying a helicopter. No, if you're already rich, then yeah, just get a helicopter. Like, a flying car would just not suffice. So yeah, that's all I have to say. This video was made for an English project, and I hope I get a good grade on it. Goodbye.